Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. Today's stories includes relationship problems, toxic partners, ultimatums, emotional manipulation, entitled people and terrible bosses. Let's start. My 26 male girlfriend, 26 female, gave me an ultimatum regarding a group trip. I, 26 male, really need an outside perspective on a situation with my girlfriend, 26 female. For starters, my girlfriend and I have been together for 3 years. Throughout our relationship, things have been mostly good. Our schedules conflict a bit, and we've had our issues, but we make it work. A big issue between us right now is over a good friend, 28 female, of mine. For clarity, I'll refer to this friend as Violet. For some context, me and Violet are part of a small friend group. There's 2 other people in the group. We met while attending a film festival around 2 years ago now. We were all waiting in line to enter the theater. The line was long, and we all kind of naturally struck conversation and hit it off, and then we kept in contact afterwards. Everyone in the group is mostly long distance, so we can't hang out in person altogether too much, but we talk daily and have weekly group gaming sessions and anime and movie watch-alongs. Violet lives the closest near me, pretty much in the next town over, so we see each other in person the most outside of the group's virtual meetups. I do want to mention that I invited my girlfriend to each virtual and in-person meetups, and she turned me down every time. I try including her, but she doesn't want anything to do with it, in large part because she doesn't particularly care for our interests. Stuff like anime, manga, or gaming is childish to her. The movies we watch are mostly older era films and films that were restored, but she's not into those either. This disconnect between us was an issue before I even made this group of friends. It's not like she'll engage in these things to spend time together. Like I grew up on game night, I'm not even talking about video games necessarily, I'm talking board games, card games, etc., but she doesn't care for that. She either shuts it down and goes off to do her own thing, or if she does actually watch something with me or play a game, then she makes it known that it's a chore for her, and she belittles whatever it is increasingly throughout. She calls it joking, but it feels more like belittling. It gets to a point where I don't even enjoy whatever we're watching or playing. I'm not particularly a huge fan of reality TV, but I still watch with her and try genuinely engaging, because, for me, it's not about the show so much, as it's about spending some quality time together. So my friendship with the group has been a nice change of pace, and has brought some balance, but it's become an ongoing issue in my relationship. Recently, the group has been putting together a trip to this upcoming anime con. The event lasts for a weekend, so the plan was to stay together at an Airbnb and split the cost. My girlfriend is outright against the trip because of Violet. She doesn't like my friendship with her and doesn't really seem to like Violet at all. She has a general annoyance whenever Violet's involved and gets upset whenever I talk or hang out with her. We could be having a disagreement about something entirely unrelated, and somehow it'll circle around to Violet. She also calls Violet a pick-me girl. When the trip was first being put together, I invited my girlfriend. She had no interest in coming and later expressed an issue with me going. She doesn't like that I'd be staying in the same house as Violet during the trip. I offered a compromise of me just booking a hotel and meeting up with everyone, but that wasn't an acceptable option for her either. Nothing I propose she's willing to hear me out on. It's all on deaf ears because she knows Violet's going. The trip has become a major point of contention between us. She now says that it's proof that I have feelings for Violet, because I keep defending her during arguments and because I won't let the trip go. I haven't let the trip go because I would really like to attend the con, and it's rare that everyone in the group's schedules link up like this. My girlfriend views it as me taking a getaway with Violet. She's firm on her position on the trip and has given me an ultimatum. She said I could do whatever I wanted, but know that if I went on the trip, then I'd be choosing Violet over her and that she'd act accordingly. I honestly don't know what to do anymore. I'm not saying her feelings are invalid. Her feelings are her feelings, but I feel that she's being unreasonable and that her insecurity about my friendship with Violet is baseless. I feel pulled in 2 different directions, and now this ultimatum. All I do is compromise in our relationship, and it just feels one-sided. I don't understand why this one thing would be a deal breaker. How do I go about addressing this with her now? Look, it's clear to everyone that the problem in your relationship isn't just your girlfriend's jealousy of Violet. You have expressed, more than once, that the lack of common interests between you two is a problem that has been affecting your relationship for a while, and I think you are not the only one who feels this way. I believe that your girlfriend also feels like this, and your friendship with Violet brings out all her insecurities regarding you and the future of the relationship. Does that mean I think it is right the ultimatum she gave you? No way, she should talk to you about her insecurities, instead of accusing you of basically cheating on her. Could it be that a friend might be influencing her? Putting in her head the idea that you're cheating? Do you talk to or meet with Violet a lot? Or maybe keep comparing them? I don't know, I'm just trying to find a reason for the ultimatum. But in terms of you complaining about her and your hobbies, I kind of understand her. She doesn't like it, that's it, and you know it. In the past I've been through situations just to please others, and I'm not like that anymore. If I don't like something, I won't do it. Unless it's necessary, I won't do it, and maybe your girlfriend is like that too. You grew up having games and movies nights, etc., and maybe she hasn't, and that's okay. The problem is she belittling your interests. That's not okay, just like her ultimatum. My advice if you want to continue in this relationship would be to keep talking to her, showing her that you are committed to her and no one else. But I also think you should actually reevaluate this relationship. You should also think about what's best for you and what you want for your future, because it's quite possible that if you stay with your girlfriend, it will be full of ultimatums. And what did you guys think of this situation? What do you think OP should do? Have you ever been through or do you know someone who has gone through something similar? Don't forget to leave your opinions down below. Now let's read what the comments say before going to the update. So your girlfriend dislikes your friend group, your friend Violet, and thinks your interests are childish. My advice would be to date someone who actually seems to like you. Honestly, the fact that she belittled your interests and makes it known that engaging in any of them as a chore is enough of a reason to really consider if you want to stay in this relationship. It is totally okay for people to have different interests in a relationship, but it's not okay to make your partner feel bad for their interests. As far as the Airbnb goes, you have a right to stay with your friends, and she has a right to end the relationship over it. I certainly would not miss out on a good time with my friends, because of a relationship that has these kinds of issues. She is jealous because she knows that you have more in common with Violet than her. Normally I would feel for her, but the way you describe her, and also how much effort you put into this to make a compromise, shows that she doesn't care. She could come with you, she could spend the day doing something else, she could find something good on this trip. But what she doesn't leave any space for a compromise, so this time I would suggest you tell her that exactly. I did offer you so many options, but you will accept any of them. If you want to leave, then leave. Choose the trip, otherwise, this would only be the beginning ultimatum in a very controlling relationship. I think you need to accept that you and your girlfriend are not compatible. She belittles your interests and doesn't make any effort to share them with you. I would break up with your girlfriend before the trip, so you can actually enjoy it without worrying about her insecurities. And what did you guys think of the comments? Do you agree with them? Would you advise something else? Now let's go to the update. Oh, and I hope you are enjoying the video so far. If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. Now let's go to the update. Update: my 26 male girlfriend, 26 female, gave me an ultimatum regarding a group trip. I, 26 male, wanted to give an update on the situation with my girlfriend, 26 female, and her ultimatum. First off, thank you to everyone who commented and reached out. I really appreciated the feedback, it gave me a lot to consider. I didn't get a chance to reply to comments, so I'll address those questions in this update as well. A lot of people asked how my girlfriend and I even got together. We knew each other back in high school, but we didn't move in the same circles. We actually ended up going to the same college and bumped into each other at a party. So I think that's where our initial connection began. We were in this big college pond, and having a familiar face from back home made adjusting easier. We didn't start dating until later, though. Things felt more like a mutual respect back then. It was after we got together that it was almost like this overnight, complete intolerance. I was also asked why she considered my friend Violet, 28 female, a pick-me girl. I honestly don't know the definition, as I know it doesn't fit Violet, in my opinion. When I ask my girlfriend, she only says that a woman knows another woman. She won't elaborate. She never pinpoints specifics. My girlfriend was known to have a bit of a mean girl side back in high school, to be honest. We discussed this before we started dating, and she seemed to work through that in college, but now it feels like that side very much shows whenever it comes to my interests or with anything involving Violet. In regard to the ultimatum, I went back and forth on what I should do, and what I wanted for me individually and for my relationship. I decided to still go on the group trip. I do believe compromise is part of a relationship, but this ultimatum isn't that. It's an attempt to bulldoze in order to have control instead of working together. I had to ask myself, if I did go along with this ultimatum, then what will it lead to? What stops other ultimatums against my interests or whenever she sees fit? I still wanted to give another shot at working things out, so I had that talk with my girlfriend and let her know of my intentions of going on the trip. I told her that I understood her feelings and that she does matter to me, but I felt that this ultimatum wasn't healthy going forward for anyone involved. I again invited her to come on the trip, with her either staying with us at the Airbnb or her and I staying at a hotel, and I thought the trip could be good for us. That was a no-go. There wasn't any compromise she was willing to accept. She was still firm on the ultimatum and said she made her position clear, and if I was still going on the trip, then there was nothing more to discuss. She kept repeating on and off that she hopes choosing Violet was worth it. I told her it had nothing to do with Violet and that she was the one making an entire group trip about Violet. The discourse wasn't anything productive. I asked her if she would please reconsider the situation. She said there was nothing to reconsider and that the choice is in my hands. I asked if we could talk again after the con to see how we were feeling, and her exact words were, "The only conversation I'll be having is with the walls, because she won't be in our place anymore when I get back." Ever since then, she's barely said a word to me, and my texts are left on read. So, I guess I'm unofficially being given the silent treatment. I don't understand why it has to be this way. We should be able to communicate. I don't feel equally supported, seen, or appreciated in this relationship anymore. It's a mess, but a lot of the feedback I received on here and the recent argument has been a wake-up call, and there has to be some kind of change. I do think the trip would be a nice refresher, and it's my intent to still go. I don't believe I'll be any better off not going, to be honest. Thank you to everyone again. Well, that's it then. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you ask, everything indicates that OP's relationship will end soon. It's a shame that OP's girlfriend chose this way, and she's the one acting like a pick-me girl. Honestly, it actually seems like she wants to end the relationship and is using the trip as an excuse. And is trying to make OP the jerk of the situation, because he didn't choose her in the end. And what did you guys think of the update? Do you agree with OP? Would you have done the same as him? Don't forget to leave the comments down below. Now let's go to the next story. Be on time or not at all. I was a piano technician for a while, and my boss lived in another town. He gave me shit a couple of times for being 5 minutes late after a 2-hour drive, yelling at me that, if you can't be on time, then don't be on my clock, as some kind of a threat to my job. So, I was scheduled to meet him at a client's house to move and tune a piano. I waited until exactly the time we were scheduled to meet, and then left. I had a booty call around the corner anyway, and that was great, lol. Apparently, he showed up a few minutes late and was pissed that I wasn't there. I told him later that I had been there, waited until the appointed time, and figured that the appointment had been called off since no one showed up by the scheduled start time, so I left. OMG, LOL. I found another profession, and I don't think the old fart leaned a damn thing. Oh my god OP, that was really funny LOL. And good that you found a new job, after all that you really couldn't continue working there, LOL. And that's it for today everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.